Hi everybody. Coming on to do a quick video. No jewelry. I just want to explain to you something that happened, and we are going to have a couple days without any videos. Anyway, I did um, receive a package, and anyway, I had dumped out the package into a bucket because the package that I got was really horrible. Um, it was dirty, a lot of junk, and it wasn't a good thing. I knew well enough when I saw the stuff that it wasn't something, when I saw it through the bag, it wasn't something that I could turn around and I could share with you right out of the bag or out of the box. So without getting into any real details, I reached into the bucket that I had put everything in, and I got cut. Okay, the lot had numerous dangerous items in it, including shreds of glass, sewing needles with thread, and open safety pins, and it wasn't pretty. So anyway, I right now I can't. I'm going to try to maybe do a couple backup videos because I haven't been able to do anything. And the reason why you haven't heard me through email is that I have to type one-handed. So that's what I'm going to work on over the next few days, is getting the emails caught up. But I got to use just my. Thank God I have my right hand. I just don't have my left hand. So I want you all, especially anybody that is a reseller and is buying these lots, and there's nobody, like you guys all know me, that's more careful than I am as far as looking through the box and stuff, but this was just an overwhelming amount of stuff that was not good. So I can't change what happened. All right. It was a Goodwill lot, and I wrote to them, and I told them the story, and they have reached out to me. I don't think that they could be more apologetic for what happened. I have to give them credit. They actually made a personal phone call. They first asked for some information from me, and I sent it to them. They wanted to see what the lot was like and what was in there. I mean, the lot had everything in it. I mean, besides that, there was stuff in there that I didn't even recognize, including some toys and some kids' things and stuff like that. So it was just a very bad all-around, not a good experience. So Goodwill is going to take care of me as far as everything goes with my lot. They were very wonderful as far as refunding my money. They are also, they've reached out and are sending me more stuff, okay, to try to make up. I mean, when they spoke to me, they couldn't be more apologetic and, willing to do whatever they could to make me more comfortable, and also to do something for me. So It's all taken care of, but I wanted to let you know that I'm a little bit out of commission as far as able to do some things. So I figured just watch in the future when you get a box. Don't just reach into it and pick up a bunch of stuff because you don't know what you're putting your hand into. All right, and like I said, you all know how careful I am. I'm a lunatic. So anybody that does resale, I took this, I actually, like I said, I took this and I dumped it into a bucket because it was so bad. A pretty big bucket, so it would be like almost a single layer of stuff. And I still didn't see what was in there. So you have to kind of be mindful of what you're doing, okay? And they're assuring me that this is going to be handled through higher levels to assure that this doesn't happen in the future to anybody else, okay? So, anyway, while I have you here, when I did that video the other night, that was a premiere, I want to let you know that I could not see anybody's comments. I don't know why. All right, I couldn't figure it out, okay? So, anybody that commented in there and made a suggestion of what you would like to see me do, I didn't get them. And I saw some things pop up in the little box windows on my computer screen, but they popped up and they were gone. But as far as me seeing any chat, I had written down in the comments section, and I kept looking down there to see if anybody was saying, well, yeah, I'm here, I'm here. But little did I know, afterwards, people were telling me that they were writing me, but you didn't see me. Well, I didn't see you because I didn't have a screen to see the comments that you guys were putting on. So if you did request something on there, please do me a favor and let me know what it was. Okay, I'd appreciate it because I don't want to. You can drop me an email, which would probably be better because I'd be able to get it. And you could put it in the comments also on that particular video. I'm sitting here having some, now you can't see it, some really good chocolate. This is mint. I love dark chocolate. It's my downfall. Remember I told you I had a dark chocolate covered raspberry donut. My God, they're so good. So anyway, that's that. Now the other thing, I know I've had a couple of people put comments down that they want to learn how to restring stretch bracelets. Now I can do another video, but if you all go back through my videos, video number 20, I did a pretty good explanation with materials and tips and hints, and I actually restrung a bracelet. There is a method to the madness of doing that, and I think I did it pretty thoroughly. But, you know, I suggest that you all go back and you watch that video, okay? And if you need me to do another one, I would be more than happy to, because I have plenty of stuff here to restring. So, anyway, that's one of the things that I wanted to mention, that I didn't get the comments on the video the other night. I mean, everybody was commenting, evidently, because everybody's telling me they were commenting, but I didn't see anything. So, that's about that. Now, in the last two videos, the last couple nights, those videos were recorded before this whole incident here turned around and happened. And I don't have any videos in the bank, but I started to tell you a story about Henry, my boxer, and how he came to be with me, and how I think that he actually saved me more than I saved him. So I want to tell you about that. I'm kind of stuck here, and I'm kind of limited to what I can do. So I figured I'd finish this story, and never take life for granted is all I can say. Well, anyway, I go to um, a pulmonologist, and every so often they give me a CAT scan to make sure that my lungs are clear and so forth and so on. So I get a call from the doctor, and the doctor says, your lungs are clear, and I don't hear nothing else. Then about a week and a half later, I get another phone call that they didn't, the radiologist looked, and he didn't like the way my thyroid looked, and that they wanted me to come back in. So anyway, I went back in, and at that time, my doctor said that I want you to see an endocrinologist because she needs to see you and feel around and so forth and so on and take it from here. So I did that, and I saw her. She felt nothing in my neck or anything, but they needed to, of course, go further because the thyroid was gnarly. Okay, it was enlarged and stuff. So I had to go in, and I had to get first was a sonogram. So I get the sonogram, and they didn't like what they saw on the sonogram, and so then I had to go for a biopsy. I'm getting to the dog, don't worry. So I go and get the biopsy done, and they can't tell you anything right then and there. So I leave there and I come home, or I think it was on my way home, and I used to help out a rescue, pretty local to me, and I get a phone call from her. Now I got this patch on my neck and everything, and I'm not feeling all that great because they just went in there and they just stabbed me with a whole bunch of needles. So anyway, she says, please, they're going to take this dog. These people are going to take this dog, and they're going to bring it to a kill shelter. And I need you to go and pick up this dog. And I says, oh my God. I said, I can't go and pick up this dog. I said, I'm all wore out. I just got this biopsy done, and I don't think it's such a good idea. So anyway, one thing led into another, and she says, well, just give him a call and see what you can do, okay? So I got in touch with this man that was going to take this dog. He was a boxer, he says to me. I think he's a boxer. And he's going to take him to the kill shelter. And he had just went to some place in Middletown that somebody was going to pick up the dog, take the dog from him, but they didn't show up. So I said, okay. I said, meet me at the Newburgh Mall. I says, I'll meet you over there, and I'll do something with the dog. So the whole time I'm thinking, I shouldn't be out there doing this, and I gotta, this is like a very quick thing. I need to turn around and try to figure some way to have this guy hold on to the dog for just a couple of days until I can get an area set up for him, because I'm going into this blind. I don't know if there's anything wrong with the dog or whatever. So I get in the car and I go meet him at the mall, and he pulls in, and he gets out of the vehicle, and he says, the dog's in the back of the car. So he goes to the back, and I'm still trying to think of something to say to him. And he opens up the back of his SUV, and there's this beat-up cage in the back of the car, plastic beat-up cage, unbelievably filthy dirty. And he opens up the box, and there's this really small boxer in this crate. His eyes were completely closed. There was so much green pus in his eyes. He had like no life to him. He's just sitting there. And at that point, I said, yes, give him to me. There was no way I was letting this guy take this dog back, or because he probably wouldn't have kept it for a day until I got anything ready. And I just said, give him to me. So he put him in the box, and I took the box and I put him in the car. And I ran right from there to the vets. The dog was, I mean, there was no noise coming out of him. He wasn't half dead or anything, but he was in a very depressed state for a young puppy. Okay. And I looked at him a little bit more. He had massive skin loss. He was nothing but skin and bones. I wish I could share the pictures with you somehow. He was, I forget how many pounds he was when I got him into the vets, but he was like 35 pounds underweight for his age. They estimated that he was between 10 and 13 weeks old. And all you had was a dog with a, you know how boxers have a big head, had a big head. And he had really serious eye infections. He had really serious ear infections. He had a decent case of the mange, all right, and plus the fact that he was, really, really super underweight. So the story from the gentleman that I got him from, he said that he found him running around in some park, probably about 7, 8 miles away from where I live. And he said that, somebody must have dumped him. And when I saw him, he says, I went over and he came right to me. He says, so I put him in the truck. He says, but I brought him home. And I guess he realized there was something wrong with him and he wasn't going to be able to afford to fix it. And he told me, he said that I have 9 kids. And he said, I can't really take this dog back to the house because he says, my kids won't let me get rid of him, if he's in my house for a few days. So that's the story behind the dog. So anyway, the vet gave the dog a complete go-over and, what I told you, all that, plus other. But thank God, the only thing the dog didn't have was fleas, all right? But you think about what he had. He had others, a lot of stuff going on. And like I said, he was in a very depressed state. So it was right around income tax time, after. And I had just gotten my income tax back. And I turned around and I said, all right, go ahead and start treating him. I didn't think twice because he needed to be. And I took this dog considering I have dogs home, and but it gave me time to go home and get an area ready for him. And then I had to tell Reed that what happened, and I had to go back to the vet, and I had to pick this dog up because they were going to give him the first bath of the many baths that were coming at like $48 or $49 a piece to help get rid of the mange. And then plus there was like, I can't tell you how much medication I had to give this dog between antibiotics, ear medication, eye medication, all kinds of stuff. Antibiotics. They didn't know how much the he was so emaciated that if it was starting to have any effect on his organs and stuff. So I told Reed, and he actually went over with me and helped me pick up the dog. I mean, the dog just sat. After that, I didn't even put him in the box. He just sat in my car. He was so good. I mean, so good. I laugh at this now to think that he just sat on the seat and, he was little. I mean, he was little. I couldn't believe it. So we bring him home. We get him all set up and everything. And now he's got to go back to the vets every so many days, all right, to get more treatments. So in the midst of all this, I get a phone call. And my biopsy had come back. And the biopsy came back that it could be cancer. So they were sending the sample out to somebody else. And So now I got this dog, and now I got this cancer thing on my mind and everything. And they turned around, they sent it out to somebody else, and it came back that I definitely had thyroid cancer. They weren't sure what kind of thyroid cancer. So now I had to go and see an eye, ear, nose, and throat doctor. And she put it to me really frankly that this has to come out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't leave this in there. It was, can't you just take out the part that's bad, you know? I didn't want to lose my thyroid. So this was very hard. In the beginning, it was a very hard thing for me to deal with. But on the other hand, I had Reed was beside himself, but I had to worry about this dog. The dog was keeping me busy. Plus my other dogs. I mean, the dog just was very high maintenance with all the medications that he needed and the baths and everything else. And he kept my mind off of what was going on. So then I had to go in the hospital and I had to have this surgery and have the thyroid taken out. And, then they were sending it off to find out what kind of cancer it is and if it was an aggressive cancer. And they were talking about doing iodine treatments where they go in and they burn. They put you in a room and nobody can come near you and all this other stuff. They were preparing me for all this stuff that I was going to have to go through. So I went in, I had that surgery done, and I was kind of out of it for probably about 5 or 6 days, but I still got the dog over to the vet and everything, and I had my mind on this dog, and I had my mind on me too, but for some reason, I don't know why, I was more concerned about the stupid dog, my poor Henry Stupid, than I was worried about me. In the meantime, Reed's more worried about me than anything else. So I'm waiting for the biopsy to come back. Now I have to go back to the doctors and I have to get the stitches taken out. So I go back to the doctors and they didn't have the results back yet. And so they told me they were sending it out. No, it came back and it came back inconclusive. In other words, that day they didn't have no results there. So they called me in a few days and they said that it came back, but the results were inconclusive. That they couldn't, they had to send it someplace else to find out what kind of cancer it was. Because there's, different kinds of thyroid cancer. So anyway, they sent it out again, and I'm sitting here and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And all this time that I'm waiting, I'm doing the stuff with this dog, okay, which really, really kept me sane. It really did, because I mean, the doctor was very positive and everything that, whatever it was going to be an okay thing and we were going to get through it. But still in all, the big cancer thing, it's a scary thing. So anyway, they called me up and they said that the results came back this time and it's still inconclusive. And, I said, well, what do you want to do? I says, I don't want to have this cancer sticking inside of me and growing and all that. They said, well, we can't do anything until we find out exactly what kind of cancer it is. So they sent it out again to another place. Now we're talking probably a total of maybe 5 weeks altogether from the time I had the surgery. So, one afternoon, Reed and I are sitting outside at the pond, and we got Henry out there, and we're talking. Reed's talking to me, and you could tell that he's, he couldn't believe that I was like so at ease for some reason, and he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do, if this turns out the wrong way, and I says, listen to me. I says, whatever it is, I says, we're going to deal with it. I said, just like I'm dealing with the dog, I says, we're going to deal with it. I says, we'll get through it. I says, He says, well, maybe we can't get through it. I says, we're going to get through it. And this is so not like me. So anyway, we're sitting out there and we're talking about this, and he's very sad, that I'm going through this, and then the phone rings. So it was the doctor's office, and we're talking from the time I got the dog. I mean, we're probably talking all together maybe 8 weeks that I didn't know anything, and I'm taking care of this dog this whole time. And so the doctor's office calls, and they told me that they had sent it to Mount Sinai, I guess, in New York City, and they told me that they couldn't find any cancer in my thyroid. All right, in the meantime, I had the whole thyroid taken out. This is why I say to you, don't ever take life for granted, because you don't know. But I am normally a very, very hyper person, lots of anxiety, lots of, I don't want to say drama, but, once I had a lump in my breast and I flipped out, and I couldn't wait for them to get that thing out of my breast. And this was a long time ago. So I really sincerely believe that if it wasn't for me picking up this dog and having to worry about that dog, besides worrying about myself, and also I was worried about Reed, because he was not handling the whole thing really well. I don't think I would have handled the situation that good or that well for that period of time, for all those weeks between all those tests and the sonogram and the biopsy, and then getting bad news, and then all these doctor's appointments and stuff. I was kept busy by taking care of this dog. Now, this might all sound foolish to you, but I sincerely believe that that dog came into my life for a reason. And I was going to give him up. When I first got him here, I had somebody that was interested in him, and then they decided against him, and then a neighbor was interested in him, after I got him. And I spent basically my whole, I was working at the time, my whole income tax getting him back on his feet. So I told Reed, I said, I know you're not going to like this. I says, but he's not going to go anywhere. I says, because I feel that if it wasn't for him, I would have never got through this time in my life. I mean, yes, you were there and you were supportive and everything, but I'm dealing with him being really sad, and I look at him and I'm saying, Jesus, he thinks I'm going to die. So the dog kept me busy, and I think God put that dog in my life at that time for that reason, to turn around and get me through that whole episode. I'm convinced of it. So I kept him because I saved him. I think he saved me. I really do. And I owe him a lot. And one of these days when I have him in here, I'll show him to you. He's a real nut job. If anybody's ever had a boxer and has any idea, they don't ever grow up. I think he's 5 years old now, and he's just like he was when he was when he got better after all that episode. Crazy. They just don't grow up. They use their feet and everything. Oh my God, it's crazy. So anyway, that's the boxer story, and my story, the reason why he's in my life, why he was rescued, but he rescued me. So that's pretty much I wanted to tell you about that. And I'm going to turn around and work hard to get you guys. Oh, everybody's packages went out. They all shipped. Okay, so they went out. The one went out. I told you in the other video. That one went out. That one should be arriving. And the other packages that had to go out. And I'm sure you know who you are. I'm going to try to go in. I got your tracking numbers, but I just haven't been able to go in there and type the emails out. You know who you are. They're on their way to you. Okay? So I wanted to let you know about that before you forgot. So, anyway, this chocolate is so good. Oh my God, it's so good. I got a really bad thing for dark chocolate. I don't have a lot of vices, but dark chocolate is one of them. So, and I like red Rubio's tea, too, at night. No caffeine. It's really good. A lot of antioxidants. Try it sometime if you want to try a really, really good tea. No sugar needed. It's a naturally sweet tea. It's from Africa. It's delicious. So, anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And don't forget, like I said, if you made comments about that video the other night, the premiere, please let me know what you did. And please go back and check that video out, that number 30 video, oh, 20 video. Oh, Robin, I didn't include this in your order because I couldn't find it, but this is coming. And also I found remember the other earring that dropped down into the black hole? I found that pair, so I'm going to put these both together and put them in your new bucket. So I just want to let you know about that. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. We're expecting more snow. It's so dismal out. I don't know what they said. One of my people that I went to school with was on Facebook a little while ago complaining about how many inches we're going to be getting. And everybody's worried now because they're afraid they're not going to get their oil deliveries because the people won't deliver the oil unless you shovel a path for them. And usually where your oil goes in is a long ways from the road, and now that snow is out there and it's all hard and everything, so it's going to be a hell to get through. So everybody's anticipating, this another big storm, and it's going to be not only a bad storm, it's also going to be unbelievably cold. So I get all my blankets out and I'm going to go on the couch and, when it's like that and whatever. So I did a I did a little repair on this little heart today and, and a couple things here. There was a pair of earrings that needed some work done. And got a nice ear cuff here. Just had a missing stone. I put the stone back into it. This is very pretty. I think this is a right ear cuff. And all right, I'm gonna, you know how I am. If once I get going, I keep talking and everything. So anyway, this is the reason why you might not be getting emails from me. I wanted to let you all know I'm fine. Okay,